The way you train is actually preventing you from adding more muscle size. Most people don't train hard enough. Training intensity is not where it needs to be to put on more muscle. So I'm going to explain a little bit about training intensity and what level you need to train at, so this way you can actually pack on the most amount of muscle possible. Now, most people, when they go to the gym, they're usually distracted by other things, or they think they train harder than they actually do. But we're going to use something called reps in reserve. And what reps in reserve means is how many good, clean reps are you going to actually be able to do with that weight? How many are left? So for example, if I normally curl 60-pound dumbbells and I normally do that for 10, right? Let's say that's the number. If I take 50 pounds and I do 8 reps, technically I probably could have did 4 or 5 more reps. So my R in RIR, or reps in reserve, would be like 5 in that case. You always want to train in the intensity level of 0 to 1 rep in reserve. Okay, so that means that if I'm doing a bench press, for example, and I normally get 315 for whatever, 8 reps, let's just say it's 8 in this case, and I stop at 7, my RIR is 1 rep in the 10 because I've done 315 for 8. But let's say I'm actually doing the set and I get, I'm at the sticking point here and I'm just driving, and the rep is like so slow and grindy, and I lock it out and I rack it. If I was to try to do another rep, I would fail. So that's 0 reps in reserve. So like I said, if you want to pack on muscle, you need to train in that 0 to 1 rep in reserve all the time, because muscle, your body doesn't want to build it. So we literally have to force muscle on, and we force muscle on by training super hard. Your last rep of every set you do, not one, every set you do, should be hard. Okay? It should be hard. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to failure on every set, meaning in the sense like you have to fail and drop the weight and only do a half rep, but your reps should be pretty close to that every time. Because if you're doing that, now we're ensuring that there's a stimulus happening to your body. If you're not training that way, you're not going to give your body enough stimulus to put on muscle. I will tell you, most guys are afraid to fail in the gym. They're afraid to fail. They're afraid to drop the weight. They're afraid to have the bar collapse on them. Listen, that's not a fun thing to happen by any means. No one likes to get buried under a heavy set of squats, but you have to do it safely. So let's say, for example, if I'm bench pressing and I fail a bench press, well, I have my safeties set up. So if I fail, the safeties catch the bar. Or a spotter, I have someone who spots me to stay there. And if I fail, you're going to come and pick it up off me. You can't be afraid to fail safely. Now, I'm not saying to be stupid and do like all these other things you see online. Safety is the most important thing, because obviously if you're hurt, you can't train hard at all, but you can't be afraid to fail. Like, you have to be able to go into your sets and attack the weight. If you're not attacking the weight and being really forceful with the movements that you're doing, you're not going to get any muscle growth out of it. Don't be afraid to fail safely when it counts. And don't be stupid either. So if you normally do, like I said, 365 on bench or 315 on bench or whatever the number is, don't just jump to the next interval. So for example, if I did 225 and that was my max set, don't put 315 on the bar, because that's just dumb. You're obviously not going to move anything at all. But as long as it's within range. So if you normally do, like I said, 225, you put 245 on and you give that a shot. That's within range, right? It's not unrealistic. And then set up your safeties, have a spotter, and don't be afraid to push that set to that 0 reps to 1 rep in reserve. And I promise you, if you take every set that you do like that, within 6 months to a year, your body will look drastically different. Okay? Now, just for sticking this far along into the video, I have a free gift for you. I'm going to give you a free 6-week training program. No strings attached. All you got to do is click that link below and download this program. This program is going to help you to put on muscle really quickly. 6-week program free below. This was Anthony, AB Fitness, and I'll catch you on the next one.